Hi friends, it's super late. My battery is almost dead. I meant to record this like 3 hours ago, but I had a really long day. And to give myself some credit, I had about 6 clients today, and when I get home, I really need time to like decompress. And sometimes that decompression period just ends up with me not doing anything at all. So I'm proud of myself for showing up and being here. Pat on the back for me. Um, And yeah, I just feel like I have a lot of things in life going on right now in general, like a lot of like anxiety. Because I did just start this and had to like reset because I feel a little ungrounded. But we are going to get into this reading. Um, this is going to be a general reading. And yes, any channel messages want to come through at this time. I think mainly like the one thing that I've noticed that's going on around me is like an abnormal amount of detours, like not just in my city, and the one in my city is going to take like 100 days, but even when I go to my dance class, there's like a road that's going to be closed for 210 days. There's another road that was closed today. So there's something about roadblocks that could be coming up, like detours, creative solutions that you're having to come up with for like difficult issues in your life that could be coming up right now. You're feeling like it's causing like a lot of effort for you to have to like think of things to come up with. But when that's the case, it's just important to release and to allow spirit to flow. Because sometimes the more effort you try to put in, the more you try to force your brain to come up with a solution, the less likely you are to be able to grab an actual like tangible feasible solution at that time. So maybe relinquishing some of that control, and also understanding like the protection that comes in when you are dealing with like a detour or a roadblock. Like there's certain things that you can't see on the other side. There's certain things that these roadblocks may be blocking you from. And so it's important to embrace like the obstacles sometimes that come up in life, because it can be pointing you in a different direction that you weren't able to see, but like your higher self, that future version of you, is able to see. We got materialism. I feel like there could be like a significance, like I said, around like you fixating on like your physical world right now. And I think that there's a draw or like a need for your attention to be more fixated on like your spiritual self, like connecting with your higher self, asking the questions, asking for help. What I heard is brings me to what I heard earlier. If you don't seek out guidance, guidance will seek out you. And so what I got from that is sometimes when you're not, and I feel like we just forget, like sometimes we're just so wrapped up in the emotion, wrapped up in the stress, wrapped up in the moment, we forget that we can ask for help from spirit. We can ask for help from God. Um, but when God is watching you and you aren't in that space to ask for help, sometimes things will drop in front of you, or the pressure will really be applied so that you can get very specific on what you need. Sometimes that I feel like there's a reframing, and I feel like I've been talking about this in the last couple messages. You have to reframe obstacles. You have to reframe negativity, because it does nothing for you to throw a pity party every time something bad happens. And I'm not saying that you should not feel upset or angry, but I'm saying like prolonging it over days and weeks and months, just complaining. At some point, you have to cut it off and try to see the purpose within your pain. I've said this in several of the videos. Like, you have to see the purpose in whatever obstacle or circumstance is going on right now, no matter how painful it is, because it's happening for a reason. I'm gonna get into this reading. Spirit, please let me know what collective needs to know right now. What does collective need to hear, and what does collective need to know right now? May this message find who it's meant to find in divine timing. We got the Strength card. I'm automatically getting Leo energy with this. I don't know if it's this take or the last take that I mentioned that I'm a Leo rising. You could also be a Leo rising. You could have a lot of Leo energy in your chart. 8 could also be significant for you. The 8th month. You could have an August birthday. Something about that Leo energy. You show up as a protector. I'm getting you as like this lion energy. You protect the weak and the meek is what I'm hearing. You protect the people around you are that are struggling. They seek you out for guidance, for strength. It also is being, I'm drawn to like my wisdom tooth, like in the back of my mouth that's coming in. Confirmation burp. And I feel like you could be very wise. People can look to you for advice. They can just, there's something about your energy though that's like very much protective. It feels very safe to people. You draw people in because there's something that is very grounded, very stable with you, drawn to like the brick wall at the bottom. And I feel like you a lot of the time in your life, not so ironically, but like ironically, have felt very unsafe. And there's something about you that makes people feel very safe, very welcomed, very at home. That's a beautiful energy to have. Knight of Swords. I feel like you've had to fight a lot of battles lately and you're kind of tired of fighting. But the clouds are moving. The clouds are moving. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. It's a song that just kind of came through. The obstacles are not in my way. Look up the lyrics of that. But there's something about being able to see clearly soon. The clouds are moving. I feel like as we go into this month of May, it's going to be significant for a lot of us. I feel itchy for some reason out of nowhere. I don't know if you're dealing with like some sort of health issue, rashes. One of my clients had a rash today on the back of her hand. That could be significant for you. Contact dermatitis of some sort. You could also just be dealing with like an inflammatory response in your body from something. You could be dealing with an inflammatory response from stress right now. You could be feeling very inflamed, a lot of achy joints, a lot of back pain, neck pain, headaches, stomach issues. I feel like there's something around like you really being in this sort of energy where you just really feel like you're on the brink of being pushed over the edge. But that's why the detours are coming up, because it's protecting you from the edge. It's protecting you from what you can't see. The roadblocks, that's why the roadblocks are coming up, because it's protecting you from what you can't see. And so I feel like release and relinquish are the words for this message. You need to relinquish your control. You need to release your obsession with trying to figure it out and wanting the answers right now, because it doesn't matter how much you force it. Spirit is not going to give you something until you are absolutely ready for it. I'm hearing fighting is a choice, and it removes freedom as an option. You know, I feel like I've heard a lot of quotes about life, and I feel like, you know, us being in this constant battle is like one of them. But I feel like when you tether yourself to life always being a fight and having to fight for every single thing, you are tethering yourself to this kind of state of perpetual misery, perpetual exhaustion. And it is kind of stripping away your freedom. It's stripping away, because freedom really is an understanding that you have an infinite amount of options, that you have an infinite amount of choices, that there's an infinite amount of possibilities. When you tether yourself to this idea that everything in your life has to be struggle, you are stripping away your own freedom. And I feel like there's something significant about that. Like I said, I'm sending you a lot of love. I'm sending you empathy. I'm sending you peace. I'm sending you patience. I'm sending you rest. I feel like you really need to rest right now. You need to step back from whatever you're doing that's taking so much of your energy and depleting your life force energy, because right now you are in a space where it's counterproductive. The harder that you keep trying to push at this, and like I said, it's like the more discouraged you become. We've got the Six of Swords. You really need to focus on something fun, creative endeavors, entertain that inner child, go outside, connect. Six is also that number. That's one of the main numbers in numerology that like really calls you to focus on your thoughts and your attention, because there's something that is sort of out of alignment, or that is knocking you out of alignment. And I feel like, look up the number 6, because that could be, or 666, because it couldn't be significant for you. But I feel like there's definitely a call for you to kind of just let your hair down, go outside, get in nature. I could definitely take this advice myself. But again, I understand how mentally difficult that can be when you know you have your bed at home. But I feel like just kind of just push through, even if it's just sitting at the park not doing anything. You don't have to walk, you don't have to be around people. Like, try to set yourself up somewhere where you can kind of be secluded and spend some time with yourself. But I feel like it's important for you to step away from whatever this is right now, because it is kind of being hidden from you, and it's being hidden from you to protect you. And right now I feel like the more that you entertain some fun, the more that you bring some light into this darkness that you're kind of in right now, I feel like the more it's going to illuminate the solution that you're looking for at this time. Relinquish and release, love. Yes, and you're relinquishing and releasing so that the seeds can be planted. I feel like there's something significant about like intuitive upgrades as well. Because that's when you get the big hits, right? It's like when you're like in a more lax state, when you're taking a bath, when you're on vacation, when you're like, it's not when you're stressed out. It's not, that's the thing about like channeling. Like, people wonder what channeling is. What, how do you know that you're reading cards right? It's when you're in a flow state. There's nothing effortful about it. Like, I'm not consciously in my thoughts, I'm not in my head, I'm not trying to construct things exactly right on how to convey it to you. I'm feeling an emotion, and then I'm just letting it flow out of me. And I feel like there's something about you needing to be in a flow state. Water can also be significant or important for you right now. Speaking life into your water, charging your water. If you do Reiki, you can Reiki your water. I feel like we all have the power of Reiki, though. It's just about being, attuned to the energy of it. But you can just say a prayer over your water. But I feel like there's something significant about you needing to take a bath, something like that. Just be in the presence of nature in whatever way that looks like. So sitting on the ground, that covers your earth. Maybe like a campfire or something. Saging yourself outside covers the fire element. Air, just being out there in general and letting the wind hit you and cleanse that energy. And then water, which has so many beautiful purposes. You can drink it, bathe in it. Like I said, just kind of splash around in it. If it's raining, go outside in the rain. It's a perfect opportunity to also really connect with that inner child. Yeah, I feel like the seeds that are being planted right now, there may be some sort of blooming of something in the fall. I don't like timed readings. I think they can be very dangerous. So I want you to be mindful that, blooming can be a lot of different things. And this is why it's important to relinquish and release control. Because sometimes when we hear, oh, this is coming here, this is coming then, we think it's going to come in like a bang. Like, it's going to be, you hit the lottery number, the love of your life just falls in your lap. Like, I don't want to give you those sort of readings, because I know how it is to be in the mindset you are in right now, and to hear somebody tell you, in 5 days, in a week. Not that there's, I feel like timed readings have their time and place, but I feel like there needs to be like a cautionary warning with it of like, one, due to the nature of life, there are certain things that can kind of move this timeline forward or move it further away from you. But I also feel like there needs to be like a reining in of what this might be. And like I said, different things can blossom in different ways. Like, this could just be a new idea. This could be the solution that you've been looking for. This could be a new relationship, but that could be a friendship, that could be a partnership, that could be a relationship, that could be a reconnection with someone in your family. Like, it could be a lot of different things. But I feel like the seeds that you're planting now is going to lay the foundation for something beautiful to start blooming in the fall. As the leaves change, I feel like there's going to be an internal change within you. But I feel like that is what is so important about you kind of laying down your sword right now and stopping this sort of internal battle that you're having with yourself. Um, so that you can plant the seeds. I feel like a lot of this is about like your mentality though. I feel like this is about transitioning your mindset into something new. I feel like you're going to have a different thought process when the fall comes. Um I feel like this summer is going to be very significant for you to kind of detach. And I feel like even with as much as I've been like, you may be doing that too, like scrolling a lot. And I feel like there's going to be this moment where you're no longer needing to consume any sort of content to like help you disassociate from your reality. Presence is the solution to this problem. Whatever this problem is, whatever this situation is, like presence is the solution to it. Running away from it is not going to make it any better. I'm going to do one more card and then I'm going to do 2 oracle cards for you. The Emperor. You are this Emperor energy. I feel like this is the energy that you're going to step in and ground more in the fall. I feel like your confidence is going to be anew. I feel like you're really gonna start embodying that big Leo energy. Where you walk with your shoulders back, your head up. You don't walk with an ounce of doubt about, within yourself. Not to say that you're not gonna have moments sometimes, but I feel like overall you're gonna be a lot kinder to yourself. And I feel like that could be something that's kind of blocking you right now, is sort of like this negative relationship with yourself. Because ignoring when your body is telling you, I need to rest, and ignoring when your mind is telling you that I need to rest is a form of self-abuse. Imagine if you were like a manager of someone, um, and they've been working, this 8-12 hour shift, and you look at them and you can see by their body that they're tired. You can see it in their face. um I feel like the collective that I'm talking to is going to be able to understand the perspective that I'm coming from. Like, I feel like I feel like, what would your approach be like if you had to tell them, like, you know, work another 12 hours? Like, would you step up and take that 12 hours, or would you force that person to work 12 more hours, even though they just worked 12 hours and they look like they're about to pass out? Like, I just feel like sometimes when you step outside of yourself and you put somebody else in a position, you really start to understand what true empathy is. And you also see how much you don't extend it to yourself. Like, would you tell that person, like, I don't care how tired you are, I don't care about, you're not feeling well. You're going to stay here and you're going to work another 12. I mean, not even that you would have, but like you have somebody else that you can call in. There was somebody that offered to come in and cover that other half of that shift. Like, would you just look at that person and simply for the pleasure of torturing them, tell them you need to work 12 more hours, or would you let them go home? And I feel like when we look at ourselves, though, we'll have worked a full day, dealt with all of the stuff after the full day that still should be qualified as work, dealing with the day-to-day life things that you have to deal with, and paying bills, and if you have kids, taking care of your kids, taking care of your dog. And then at the end of it, we sit on our phone and scroll. And I feel like it's your brain's way of just trying to shut down and force you to shut down because you refuse to do it in a real meaningful way. Because honestly, the scrolling, it does nothing. I feel like I don't feel good. I'm gonna be careful with what I say about myself, but I don't feel good after I do it. I usually feel like very drained and energetically, like it's not a high vibe thing that I should be indulging in the way that I have the last couple of days. But I'm giving myself grace because my stress level is like it's a lot right now. But I feel like we can make a concerted effort. Tomorrow I have some free time. I'm going to go to the park and I'm going to obligate myself to come back and report to you guys how that went. And I am encouraging you and imploring you, if the weather, I don't even want to use the weather as an excuse, as long as it's safe for you to go outside, let's take tomorrow to go outside for 10 to 15 minutes and no phone and just connect with the moment, be present within the moment, and just see how it goes, you know? Just 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to do 2 oracle cards, and then we are going to head out. He is also out sitting in nature. You are this Emperor energy. Such a cool card to have. I love when I pull that High Priest, High Priestess energy, Emperor, Empress energy. Always just very beautiful cards. Sign of a leader. Interesting that I brought in manager too. You could be a manager or just have like a leader sort of energy. And leaders have the worst boundaries sometimes. The worst. There's so many people relying on me. Yeah, well, if you're not physically or mentally well enough to help them, you're not going to be very reliable. The leaders got to help the leaders be accountable. Because we're all leaders in some sort of way. We got to help each other. Getting a little clarification, Spirit, a little confirmation on this reading, please. Look past what you feel are your incapabilities. Instead, focus on everything you have achieved so far. It is okay to acknowledge your weaknesses, but keep in mind that they don't define you. Your strength and your beautiful soul are clear for all to see. Drawn to that strength word that goes perfectly with our strength card. We know you're strong. And I love the part of, you know, it's okay to acknowledge your weaknesses, but keep in mind that they don't define you. It's like you're very hard on yourself. You're very intense. Oh, do I understand? When I say things, please do not think that I'm judging you at all. Because I understand. I understand 100%. But I just feel like you just have to, I say this to myself sometimes, like, please just release your foot off of my neck. Like, I have to release my own foot off of my neck because it's firmly planted there, and I don't give any leeway a lot of the times to like anything that I perceive as weakness. So I feel like that could be important for you. Self-awareness is key. Take time today to go within and spend time with your soul. Go for a walk in nature and ground yourself. Meditate, listen to your favorite music, whatever you enjoy most. Do that today. When I say these cards are always straight on, I cannot tell you what this deck is. I just know I got it from Shein out of all places, and it is the most on point oracle deck that I have bought. Here's your last one. Where you are right now is where you are supposed to be. Don't compare yourself to others. That only adds pressure. Take each day as it comes and for what it is. You are a better person than you were yesterday. Growth isn't easy, but you got this. We've got this. I love you guys so much, and I send you off with all the love in the world, and I pray for your peace, for your happiness, for your stability, for your strength during this time. It's not easy things that you're dealing with, and I pray that you give yourself grace and you extend your self-love, and that you don't extend it with conditions, that you show up in a particular way, or that you be a particular person, because the way that you are and who you are is perfect as you are. You don't need to be anybody different in order to be worthy, and I hope you know that and you understand that and you embrace that. I'll check in with you tomorrow. Remember our 10 to 15 minute walk. I send you guys off with love. Good night.